Welcome, Phoenix Knights, to another Phoenix Table Talk. My name's John Harry, Director of Relations here at Phoenix Community Capital. Now, every Wednesday, 9 p.m. GMT, you are invited to my table where you get to meet our partners, updates, and answers to the most important questions from you, the community. Now, our first and only partner for tonight comes from the depths of the sea, because we just had a great conversation about scuba diving, but I don't play around with that. But there is one thing that he plays around with, and that's Combat Waffle Studios. Now, I'm not going to introduce him because he's going to be able to introduce himself much better than I ever could. He is a fascinating individual, and I wish we had more than 15 minutes with him. And I hope he comes back so we can really pick him apart. So with that being said, give us a round of applause for Scott, the founder and CEO of
Applause. The applause. Oh my gosh. Hey guys. Hey, I guess introduce myself, right? So my name's Scott. I am the founder of Combat Waffle and the CEO. And I am making Ghost of Tabor and Aphelion and a bunch of other games, and it's going to be amazing, and we're working hard, and that's what I got. Thanks for having me on. Bye. I'm just joking.
I was going to say, I'm not letting you go just yet, buddy. I'm not letting you go just yet. So we've got a couple of questions for you. We know we've got some incredible updates as well. So we'll jump straight in with the first question this evening. So the first question, Scott, is what is the long-term vision for Combat Waffle Studios?
I think the long-term vision of Combat Waffle Studios is to make AAA games for years to come.
And for our non-gaming community, what does AAA games mean?
AAA games means it's basically like Marvel movies in the movies versus like a low-budget horror film or something like that, like a B-list movie or a B-list actor or an A-list actor, like a Brad Pitt versus like a Bill Moseley from just like horror movies as a C-list actor. You know, sort of like that. AAA is the best of the best and are usually just adopted by the masses, and they become a household name like Call of Duty.
Powerful, powerful. I love that's your North Star. And that's something I think all of us can get behind. That's for sure. So knowing, of course, that's the North Star, we want to know the team that's on the mission there. So, of course, we can see you. So I guess it's good to start with you and your background. Where are you from, Scott?
I was actually born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky, in the United States. I now live in Florida because I got tired of the cold. Yeah.
And apart from yourself, who are some other key figures in the team? You don't have to dox them, but just let us know what's the background of the team.
Yeah, so we have quite a few developers. We've got great guys like Ronaldo, who is our lead developer. Bash and Elijah, they're our developers who've been with us since the start. We've got some new guys. I think we've got like 6 developers now, not counting Ray. And what we were able to do is we were actually able to go through Bash, who was one of our first hired developers. We actually hired from LinkedIn. He approached us, and he's been with us since the start, and he's absolutely fantastic. And then Elijah was right after him. And the new guys are actually through Bash, through Bash's college. He actually went directly to his professor who teaches game design and said, who are your best students? Who's your best C++ coders? And people he knew personally. And we were able to bring in these bright minds and just geniuses. And they didn't even know they were geniuses yet, because they had never been presented the opportunity to work on such an ambitious title. We have a great modeler. I won't say his real name. I'll call him H9 because that's what he goes by in Discord. He's based out of Georgia, the country. He's worked for Epic Games, people like that, contracting, making model, doing all their character and weapons and clothing and every other type of model there is. Ronaldo was our lead developer. He was a former lead dev over at Surreal, who actually is the lead contractor for VR stuff for Epic Games.
Incredible. So and again, for the 2 communities that we have, the non-gaming community, try your hardest. How big is Epic Games? What titles would the audience probably be aware of?
Fortnite's the biggest title they've ever made. It's Fortnite. It's huge. It's worldwide.
Powerful. So we're not talking small fish here.
No, not at all. No, and then we just got lucky and we brought on a new web dev, web designer. You got so many like people. I could just go down the list. Like you got Patty and Hayden and Jackson and like they're great. They're great. Ethan, who's our light designer, like he does all of our lighting for our maps. Like this, he's still in school and he's probably does better lighting than I've seen in a lot of big titles.
Wow.
Like it's insane to me. And coming in the VR world, when I say, oh, a lot of big titles, I'm talking about PC VR because there's not a lot of great developers in VR. There's just not. It's still a very young and small space. So you don't see a ton of great, well thought, big teams. It's always usually like one developer doing all the work, and we're sitting in a team of like 15 or 16 now.
Incredible. And where did the team actually start? How many numbers were we talking?
Me. So I think we started with 3 people: myself, Ronaldo, and our former project manager, Tech. Incredible. Yeah, it was just us 3. Yeah.
And now look, you one big, beautiful, diverse.
Yeah, yeah. We can't even keep track of everybody anymore. We're like, somebody's missing.
I'm sure we'll find a solution for that in no time. And you mentioned the new web developer. And Koos, could you bring that up in the background so everyone at home can see a little glimpse of the new web design? So talk to us. How, first of all, let's take this in. What are you most proud about this new web design?
This web design really separates us from like our current one that Tech did when he was with us. It looks like every other VR website on the market for games. It just looks very basic. Like anybody could have made it at Wix. We were approached by a AAA game studio designer, and I'm not going to go into the whole story of how we landed him, but basically he wants to make this. He literally, his words were, "I want this on my portfolio." And we were able to work out this amazing deal with this amazing talented person who's creating us a AAA game studio website, which we need because that's what we're building. And we were able just to do it for such a deal that it's just hard to explain besides that. Like it was just meant to happen.
Of course. And I'm a big believer in the universe and no such thing as coincidences, law of attraction. And obviously, like you said, he wanted Ghost of Tabor on his portfolio.
Right. Yeah. He saw what we had. And everything you see here is that's our character models in game. That's what our characters look like. You see the map in the background. That's one of our maps. Those are 2 of our maps, 3 of our maps, and the pictures there behind the characters. That stuff we're doing, and actively it's done. It's being developed on. Like we're already doing other things. So, and something he told me today, he was super pumped when Proper, who was our media guy, who I forgot to mention, who's probably the best daggone media guy making the videos on Twitter. He's absolutely amazing. Proper has been doing all this with this web developer, going through, getting the still shots, full motion capture. He's capturing all these stances are Proper doing motion capture in real life for the character in game, and then taking that motion capture and putting it in a transparent background and a green screen, stuff like that. He's doing all this himself. And like the web guy was like, I knew you were a startup. He's like, but your stuff is AAA quality. And that was something I talked to the team about today, that compliment. That meant a lot. Yeah.
Because he comes from, again, Epic Studios, catalog, and a lot more.
He's worked with Activision on Call of Duty. He's just finished up his contract with Riot Games, who makes Valorant and League of Legends. He's worked for Ubisoft with Ghost Recon and the Tom Clancy websites. He's made all of those. He's worked with Nike, Disney, Range Rover. He's worked with so many. Jordan. He's worked with Jordan. Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Michael Jordan, the king. He's worked with that guy. So, of course, I'm going to say yes.
Remarkable.
Yeah, it was great.
What a feeling. And I am a part-time gamer, but speaking to you already, Scott, I'm going to dive straight in. And I already want to know how long do I have to wait? And I know a lot of our community as well are going to be asking, hey, you guys on schedule? What's going on? So give us a little glimpse into the schedule.
We are on schedule. Yes, we are expected to release sometime Q1 of 2023. Q1 does go through the end of March, but we put in time, in our lead developer, when he made the internal roadmap, we put time in there for if stuff goes wrong, right? Because stuff goes wrong when you're developing. You got to break, like today, I told you the server, we couldn't build properly and we had to fix that all day or half the day. But we have that buffer time in there. So we still hit that goal. And that was really intelligent of him to do. And I didn't even know he did it actually until I started looking like a couple of days after he said it was done. So it was fantastic and it was well thought out. And we're going to release in March for sure. Like we're not worried about that deadline at all. I say March, but it may be February. It just depends on how optimization goes. But yeah, I'm going to shoot for March, Q1, sometime in March, but it could be February. Who knows?
Remarkable. And, for many at home, they'll be like, oh, that's so far away. And we understand because if you've seen, and I've only seen a glimpse, let alone, of course, what you've seen. And I know it's behind your schedule. I remember we had this one-to-one conversation. So where would you like this to be out?
Me?
Yeah.
So I'm one of these guys, and you ask my team, and there's several guys on the team, but I don't stop working. Even when I'm dreaming, I'm working. I had a dream about the game last night that influenced the decision we made today. It's like I can't turn it off. I would like it to be done today. I want to play it today with everybody in servers, but I'm happy with that March timeframe because what we're doing is not something people usually do in a year time. Well, 11 months basically, because we started officially in April. So like what we're doing is sort of unheard of, but we have a big enough team that it's going to happen. But like you look at other VR games that are out right now or coming out, and one of them has been in development for 7 years and spent $12 million or $6 million, and it's been out in development for 7 years and like $12 million. Like, what is that? Like, we're able to do it in a year. Like, it just does. A lot of stuff doesn't make sense, but I'm happy with quarter one of 2023. I would, like everybody else, like it to be out right now because I want them all to see and be able to go in and shoot their friends and loot and do stuff. But yeah, so I would like now, but I know my developer's probably screaming right now on Discord at me. Ronaldo's just yelling. Yeah.
And rightly so, but he can relax. No, there's nothing you can do about it. And as Nest holders and the PCC community, I hope everyone understands, we are thinking short, mid, and long term. And Ghost of Tabor, it's one of those things where right now we understand it might not be that exciting because we can't feel it or play with it right now, but it's going to be worth the wait for sure. And with something that we can talk about, in your opinion, Scott, what's been the biggest achievement for the studio today?
I mean, there's a couple. There's no one certain big one. I think gathering all the unicorns and the one narwhal that we were able to like get a hold of is our team. That is huge. We got minds that were wanting to develop games that were offered other jobs, and they wanted to make a game, and we were just damn lucky to get them, and damn lucky that we keep them every day, in my opinion. Getting Vivox, one of the world's leading voice communication and game, fully implemented already. That's huge for us at this stage. Gosh, what else did Ronaldo say?
Something like Vivox, that voice system. Am I using that correctly? Voice system. How long would that take to integrate normally?
I can't say. I want to say it would take like a person that's decent at C++. It'd probably take them a month or so. If I had to guess, if they they were a small indie, very small game dev studio, Ronaldo did it in like a week.
Wow.
Yeah. So
don't let Ronaldo go.
No, I never going anywhere. Yeah. Yeah. He's never going anywhere. But yeah, I mean, we have so many things already, man. We're getting ready to release our first multiplayer test for the testers right now. So they're actually going to finally get in to kill each other and play. We have a super advanced artificial intelligence, PC characters in game that you can already engage with, fight. They yell things at you in another language based on where it's Ghost of Tabor is set in the fictional city in Tabor, and that Tabor is a real city in the Czech Republic, right? But they do speak Czech, just so everybody knows. So you'll actually have the Phoenix, the Phoenix. When they engage you, they yell at you naughty words in Czech.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
I love the attention to that detail.
Let's see. They're going to kill me if I don't say this one. A lot of games and military simulation games have night vision goggles. Elijah, who's one of our developers, like he sat down one day and was like, I'm going to do NVGs. And he just said, hey guys, we have NVGs. And we're like, what? He's like, yeah, I just did it today. And it's literally the most, you've seen the video where you flip it down. That is literally proper wearing the NVGs in game, manually flipping them down. You can see it in first person. You're coming down. And then when they get to a certain point, your NVGs click on and ding, like they do in real life. Yeah. And I think today he just finished infrared lasers for your firearms that work with with NVGs. So you have a laser that only people with NVGs can see. But it's literally if you look at all the other VR games, we have the most advanced system for night vision goggles than anybody else on the market right now.
That is one hell of a statement.
Yeah.
Wow. Certainly be proud of that.
There's a lot. Drinkables, consumables, all done. We've already got to where you can drink in game, heal yourself in game, consume different things in game, smoke weed in game, smoke a cigar in game, smoke a cigarette in game. There's so many just little things you can do. Like the interactables are all there, and it's really cool.
Remarkable. And we'll touch on the drinkables, etc. later on down the line, because I know it goes well beyond just being able to drink any drink in the game.
Yeah.
And so until we can announce those things, what is the team currently working on with everything going on right now? What is currently on the roadmap?
So right now, like I said, Elijah's working on some more of the infrared laser stuff. We're prepping for this new tester build on tomorrow or Friday. I think it's releasing to the testers. And then we'll be selecting some more testers, hopefully in the coming weeks to sign in. And then it's just polishing our system. We're building lighting, optimizing for Quest right now. We weren't even supposed to start optimizing for Quest 2 for another couple months, and we just went ahead and started diving right into it and found that a lot of the games and maps that we were building were actually already pretty proficient on Quest, and it didn't take a ton of optimization, but it did take a couple days of it. But right now we're just trying to make sure that everything is running smoothly, finishing out the AI system, and just making sure these testers really get a chance to report bugs. We fix the bugs while the other guys are still working on their daily tasks and different things.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I love the efficiency there. And for anyone who missed that time slot to be a tester this round, how can they stay up to date if they want to be a tester next time?
We'll be announcing in Discord when we're going to start picking more people, but you can still apply to be a tester on the website. And those are all picked at random. It's nothing we look for specifically. We've had people ask if they can pay us to be testers. Can we pre-order now to be a tester, or and we hear a lot, and I know everybody wants to play the game, but the guys that got picked the first round, since I come from the VR community and most of our lead dev and our lead software engineer, our developer comes from VR too, we recognized a lot of the names. And the reason they were picked is they've always been testers for a lot of the bigger games. And we knew if there was a way to break it, they're known for finding and breaking the game and finding the bugs. Yeah. So that was the reason they got. We need them first, right? And Steam only gives you so many keys. So at a time, so we had to get these guys in that are going to, here's our base system. Here's the bones. Break it. And they couldn't. So we were pumped. They found some small bugs, but nothing that I would call extremely horrible. And we were able to fix all of them within a short amount of time.
Impressive. And so impressive that you've got people excited about purchasing the game. Now, Scott, I said to you I wouldn't bring in audience questions, but this one's a good one.
Sure, yeah.
And it's one which I think you can answer very quickly, which is from Brent Thomas. And Brent Thomas has said, is it a subscription model or one-off?
I don't really know what a subscription-based game is unless you're... I don't know what he means by that. If he wants to clarify how we can revisit it. Our game is a one purchase game, right? But there will be DLC content that users will need to purchase if they want something. I'll throw this out there because I think I talked about it and everything, but we partnered with Terran Tactical, the guy that made all the guns for John Wick. He trained John Wick. We partnered with him. So we're actually going to release we're modeling the guns now, but we'll release a John Wick gun pack that'll be DLC. So stuff like that, monthly or yearly. Andrew said, I just saw it in chat. So it's one time a month. You pay it once. When you buy a video game, you pay for once. That's what you pay. There'll be different levels of starter content. If you purchase tier 1, you may get the minimal starter content, and that'll be one price. Then there'll be a tier 2, a tier 3, all the way up to tier 4. And there'll be different prices ranging from probably starting point. I don't know. I'm not even going to say that number because I don't want to just even go down that road. But it'll be a one-time purchase, and then DLC content and that kind of stuff will come out quite regularly once we get to that point. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm already fanboying about the John Wick collection. So
yeah, me too. Me too.
Well done on that partnership. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome, Scott. And look, we've flown through these questions, some which you've already answered ahead of time. But I know myself and the community want to know, how can we keep up with the progress?
Really, Twitter's our biggest advocate right now. Or you can pop in Discord, but Twitter is really where it's at. Forge Relations is doing all that for us, proper or Duncan is his real name over on the team. He deals with Ben and Will and Kyle from Forge almost on a daily basis, getting them content to keep the Twitter flow going. And we're going to start ramping.
Because you know this, but the community don't, and I know this. Who are Forge? Right?
Forge Relations is our public. I'm trying to think of the word. I just skipped my mind. They're basically our publications company, almost our publicity company. Yeah. They do all of our marketing, all of our media, all of our partnership agreements and meetings and arrangements. And so that's I've known these guys for years. They've worked with people. They do the Posties, which is Post Malone's like get together. They work with Post Malone. They work with Glock, Sig, a lot of the big names. 511 Tactical. They work with all the big names in the gun scene. So it was a no brainer with my background and then them being who they are to work with those guys because they work with oh man, I forget her name. They work with a lot of big streamers, but she is Alex Zedra. She is one of the characters from Call of Duty. They work with a couple of those people. So, and they know Summit 1G and they know people like this. And these are the guys that put us in the room with them and get our game on their stream publicized to millions. Forge are the people that make that happen.
Remarkable. So we can, we feel safer with their marketing behind you guys.
Me too.
Incredible, man. Well, look, Scott, it's been a pleasure. I feel honored that we've been able to steal your time for about 20 minutes, bud.
Yeah.
Go get some rest because I know that server stressed you out a little bit.
It's all right. We'll get to it. And I'm going to go back to work till about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. So
good man. And spend some time with the family. And we'll catch you next month. Yeah.
All right. We'll see you then.
Excellent. Thank you, Scott, for joining us. And now, everyone, you're back with me. I hope you found that exciting because myself, like I said, I'm a part-time gamer, yet now I'm going to play tonight, Fortnite, just so I can get ready. So for you who are already in the gaming community, those names probably ring a bell, and hopefully you already understand the gravity and the power they're going to bring to Ghost of Tabor, and of course, Combat Waffle Studios as a whole. The non-gaming community, I hope I've been able to break it down because I felt dumb asking some of my questions. So I hope the questions I was asking also were questions on your mind. Now, on the topic of questions, we come to the second part of the Phoenix Table Talk and the final part, which is where myself answers all your questions that you've been asking for the past week about Phoenix Community Capital. So let's jump in with the first question. And it comes off the good news from our last show, which was about the increase in round 2 nests. So this question asked, will the 0.12 reward for round 2 nests continue after round 2 nest cap? And then the second question is, will round 3 start earning rewards at 0.12? And the answer is very simple. For the first part of the question, that reward rate will stay the same all the way up to the cap, and then it will be reassessed. Okay, so from 100,001 nests to 200,000 nests, it will stay there. Okay, indefinitely, because of course we can't give you a time scale, but until that cap is hit. When it comes to round 3, we will evaluate that when we get there. Okay, moving on to the second question, and we've got about 10 questions, so bear with us and I'll do my best to smash through them. Will you address the fact that claiming/paying fees on round 1 nests right now is starting to outweigh the income it brings in? This is something we've been monitoring closely from day 1, even up till now. So this is something which, if you're in our Discord, you would have seen Eric, our CEO, talk quite openly about how he looks forward to eliminating the maintenance fees. I'll say that again. We, as a company, Phoenix Community Capital, are working day and night and day, to build a business model where maintenance fees become a thing of the past. However, up till now, the company still needs the maintenance fees for operating costs. What are the operating costs? They pay the salaries, and those salaries allow the team to then invest and put time in to the partnerships that we're building. So that investment of time is crucial for getting things like Combat Waffle Studios all the way to March 2023, where they can launch Ghost of Tabor. Now, we don't know when we want to, I say want to, we don't know when we'll be able to remove those maintenance fees, but just know that we are working very hard to find a sustainable way where we can remove those maintenance fees and we never have to go back and reintroduce them. So understand that when we pull the maintenance fees away, it won't be a small action. It will be a big one, and it will be one that we will not want to revert back to. So when we do it, it will be indefinite. Moving on. Do we know how much lead time PCC have prior to running out of funds to cover their overhead costs? So this is about the operating budget. So when it comes to transparency, and both internally and externally, we can confirm we have 8 to 10 months where if everything right now was to go stagnate, that's how long we can last. Now, that doesn't mean that as a company we would fail at the 8 or 10 month period. But what it does mean is that with what we have currently, with the projected income that we can calculate, because of course there's a number of factors that influence that, and we have to factor in our expenses, 8 to 10 months is what we can project. That is a significant time for all our partnerships to get up and running and extremely profitable, where we hope by the 8th and 10th period, we can start really reassessing that maintenance fee and really building a sustainable project without those maintenance fees. And of course, making sure that that 8 to 10 month span keeps increasing over that period of time. So we'll keep reviewing this question, so you know as well what health PCC truly has, and that you're not getting the health of PCC on Twitter or another Discord server. This is where you'll get the true information. Now, we move over to the NFTs. And as we're talking about, I can see the theme of these questions is the assessment of the current state of the business. So people want to know, are we reconsidering the price of our master and grandmaster NFTs that increase your 5 reward rate on your nest? And the answer is, of present, no, we're not considering lowering them for now. However, keep asking that question, because as of when it changes, we will let you know. But for now, we're not lowering those fees to get the NFT. Now, this happened today. And for some people who haven't come to our Discord or seen what we tweeted out, they've come with their own conclusion, their own story, their own narrative, some that have made me chuckle, but also feel annoyed because we said why we did this. We've given everyone 48 hours notice. That's the new policy we've put in place. Yet people are still spinning an interesting narrative that BitTrue delisted us. This is one of the most wildest things, and so much so that I screenshotted a conversation I had with the BitTrue team and put it in our Discord just to reassure our community what happened. So for the past couple of months, we've been monitoring the Fire token on BitTrue. Number one, there's little liquidity on BitTrue, meaning that leads to extreme price action, both in the positive and negative aspects. And as we move forward with many of the things that we're going to be releasing over the coming months, we realized that liquidity on BitTrue was not going to be helping the Fire token. So that's number one. Number two, Swapsicle are now, in my opinion, mature. And I mean, they've only been going for a couple of months, but if you look at the depth of partnerships Swapsicle have and the weekly updates, which come Friday, make sure you check out our Phoenix weekly updates. I'll be showing you the updates Swapsicle have been doing. It's now the perfect time to be driving all that trading volume over to Swapsicle. Why? Because it's our ecosystem. Remember, 15% of the transaction fee comes back to PCC. So it made perfect sense now, because Swapsicle has been going for a couple of months, they're being stress tested, to move that trading volume over to them and double down on our belief and confidence in Swapsicle. And finally, when we understand trading, there's certain things called bots and arbitrage trading. Now, the arbitrage, what happens is these bots will put different trades on different platforms and slowly bleed the price of the Fire token. So those bots, we can't track them, but we know by coming off BitTrue and putting in that trading volume, focusing it over towards Swapsicle. And remember, we're still on Trader Joe, okay? But putting that trading volume over to Swapsicle, we reduce those bots being able to perform arbitrage trading. So the three main reasons why we approach BitTrue, and again, this conversation has been going on for 2 months, back and forth, and that's why we delisted from BitTrue. So that'll be active Friday. The time escapes me, but I do know in our announcements, the time and the zone is there. Part of me wants to say 8 a.m. UTC. So please, I'm sure the Phoenix Community account will correct me in the comments if I've got that time incorrect. So that's really important that you check out that announcement, read the article so you understand what's your next steps come Friday. Now that I've cleared that up, because it was an absolute nightmare pulling my hair out and my limited beard hair about getting that narrative correct, we move on to the next question, which is, has any more thought been given or a decision been made regarding increasing the round 1 rewards to match those of round 2 until the monthly passive income improves? And not at this moment. Again, it's not a final statement saying, nope, we're not going to increase those full stop. But at present, we're not looking to increase those rewards. And the reason why is because Billy Drop and Spectrum NFT, of course, had a launch this month, but the income will truly be coming in come next month. So that's something to look forward to. We are slowly coming towards the end. We have 4 more questions. So now we talk about the worst case scenario. And I know this is a painful topic for some of you. And I imagine this person asked for the painful scenario, which is, what if I need to change the wallet address? And I can only assume that the only reason why you'd want to change the wallet address of your nests and where they're allocated to is because you've lost access to your old wallet. Technically, at the moment, with the version of the smart contract we have now and V4, this is technically impossible. Now, is this something we may revisit in V5? Potentially, but right now and moving forward to V4 smart contract, we can't do this. And even moving forward, V5 onwards, the issue is KYC. Because we don't have a proper KYC procedure in place, it's extremely difficult to verify that, of course, you belong to that wallet or that wallet belongs to you. So, it's not us saying never impossible. Right now, technically, it's impossible. Hopefully, in 6 months' time, in a year's time, this question will be asked and I'll say, yep, and this is the process you'll have to go through. But until then, I'm sorry for anyone who's been impacted with a negative situation. There's very little we can do at this stage. Moving forward, on to our CFO, which I know a lot of you don't believe he's real, which blows my mind. And we actually had an internal discussion today about bringing some of the team from PCC onto the show so they can give us an update from their departments. And maybe our CFO will be on. Marcus, if you're watching, I'm going to keep nagging you, especially this Friday. So the question is, where are the incubation margin projections from our CFO that have been working on? So Marcus, our CFO, he's focused internally at PCC, making sure that we have a sustainable business. His role right now is not focused on the numbers of our investments when it comes to our partners. Okay, they have their own teams, they have their own financial team looking after them. Now, don't get me wrong, as the quarters pass and we get more data, we make more money as a community, we'll have more data to reveal to you. Marcus may have more time where we'll be able to put together quarterly reports and financial reports of our partners. But right now, that's not his focus. His focus right now is make sure PCC is sustainable, and so too are our partners. We come now to our penultimate question, which is, why is Luke and Eric in Thailand again? So what happened to the bank, the hotel deal that was mentioned quite a few months ago in Thailand? So the good news is we're still working on it. And like I said, right now, Eric and Luke are out there shaking hands, making sure that this deal and many other deals in Thailand come to fruition. For now, I'm not even privy to that information because they're not back yet with an update. But rest assured, hopefully by next week, I'll have an update from them. And I know you miss Eric and Luke and you're getting bored of my voice. Do not worry. We will plan to have Eric and Luke on the show next month. You heard that here. And lastly, we come to some good news. We come to good news because if you weren't on the show a couple minutes ago, you would have been wondering, hey, what's going on with the fees? So I'd already mentioned that we're looking to remove the maintenance fees. But here's something that I can share with you, but there's not a lot to it, which is We're not prepared yet to share how we plan to do it. We do know a roadmap of how we want to remove the maintenance fees and what needs to happen before, of course, we can make that announcement. But for the competitive advantage, we don't want to share how we plan to do it just yet. On top of that, of course, it's a proof of concept, right? We need to see a few more things fall into place before we can confidently say, this is how it's going to happen, and here's a timeline. Rest assured, though, we will give you a 2-week notice, which I thought was impressive because I can just about give you 48 hours, but we will give you 2 weeks notice before that change happens. So 2 weeks to look forward to before we remove the fees. But don't misquote me now and say, hey, Jordan said 2 weeks before we move the fees. We will give you a 2-week notice before we move the fees. And finally, we want you to know, if this is your first time here, we do listen to you. And so the community voice is heard. So if you believe you can figure out a way of how these fees can be removed, let us know. We're active on Discord. We're active on Twitter. We hear your voice. Ultimately, this is what this show is all about. So if you believe that you have a model or you've seen something potentially we haven't seen, let us know. Make sure you tag us if it's on Twitter. If it's on Discord, you know exactly what to do. Make sure you tag one of the mods, and that will get back to Eric and the powers above. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for today's Phoenix Table Talk. Now, on a more sobering note, as I close us out, we are entering into a recession, in my opinion. And although some of our leaders won't admit that, I think we need to prepare. One thing I'm doing to prepare is I'm loading up on my precious metals, including silver. So this Friday, officially a recession may be announced in your country. Make sure you front run that. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next show. Ciao for now.